Righto, let's get stuck straight into it. This is the review of Port Adelaide versus Carlton, and we're also going to throw in a little review of the VFL Port Melbourne versus Carlton as well. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about that Thursday night debacle. Not going to harp on about it too much. It was an unmitigated disaster. Yet again, terrible from the onset. Boys showed a lack of care, lack of respect for the Guernsey, lack of respect for themselves, and a lack of respect for their teammates, and a lack of respect to their fans and members that have been behind them for the majority of the year. But on the game itself, this was diabolical from the onset. An absolute disgrace, to quote the great Ty from Arsenal Fan TV. You can't really assess much with regards to system and whatnot when players are evidently not trying and evidently not putting in the required and minimum effort to actually win a game of football. And is that on the coach? Yes. Is that on players not being intrinsically motivated? Yes. Where does it all stem from? I'm putting more of an emphasis on the coaches and the way in which we set up, because we continue to see this downward trend. And if you look at AFL Wheelo ratings, what we've been saying for the entire year, irrespective of what the stats have said with regards to the way in which we defend, we've been, in inverted commas, top three. And this is the terrible narrative that has been peddled by professionals at our football club and supposed professionals in media and supposed professional analysts. And it comes as no shock now that that defensive rating has plummeted all the way down to 9th, and our offensive rating is now ranked 13th. So we are in dire straits as a football club this season. Not really sure what else to say after this Port Adelaide game. Port Adelaide is nowhere near, at least talent-based. They are nowhere near a 8 to 10 goal better side than Carlton, and that was reflective of results when everybody was really buying into what they believed in last season. But this one's from the Prendercast, and to quote the great Indiana Jones, it's not necessarily about what you believe. It's not necessarily about the system we play, but how hard you believe it. And I think at the moment, this football team is not believing fully in what they are being told. And you can see there's a clear disconnect with a lot of senior players out on the field at the moment. Whether or not that is an excuse for poor performances, I don't think it is. But clearly what we're doing, even if we did buy in 100%, is not quite up to it at the moment. So an incredibly disappointing loss yet again. And we just continue to be told to stick fat. So message to those inside the Carlton Football Club: members and supporters are sticking fat, again, irrespective of what he said. For those who want to tune into what I had to say on fan cams on Blue Broad post game, make sure you do. It's about halfway through Terry's fan cam. So for those who want to see a bit of a rant about all of that, you can go back and check that out. But I want to put a bit more of a positive spin on this review as we bring it to an end. This is going to be very, very short and sharp. Was very happy with what I saw at the VFL, albeit against a standalone club in the form of Port Melbourne, who are a proud club in their own right. That they can be formidable to beat, especially at their home ground. But just going through some numbers and going through the way in which this game played out, Carlton victorious in this game at ETU Stadium. So it was Port Melbourne 11-17-83 to Carlton 14-10-94. Ashton Moir will play next week. I almost have no doubt about that. 4 goals, 17 disposals, was really involved on the offensive end. I really like what he did in midfield as well. He looks to have matured with regards to his temperament. He's got a bit of a hot head about him. He's got a real competitive streak about him as well, which shines through. And I think he's learned how to really temper that as the season has progressed. And I really like what I saw from him. He was, I would say, he and Frankie Evans were the clear best on ground for mine yesterday, just with regards to impact and the way in which they hurt a Port Melbourne ball in hand. And Ashton Moir took these 2 really strong contested marks where he was able to control the drop zone and control his area and control his direct opponent and clunk really, really nice grabs and kicked 2 really, really, really good set shots as well in that last quarter to effectively ice the game for for Carlton, and that just goes to show you that the man, albeit again a small crowd at Port Melbourne, there is evidence there that he can handle set shot pressure late in games. We saw it against St Kilda last year. We saw it against West Coast last year as well. Hopefully we can see it. I'm almost certain we will see it at Collingwood at the MCG on Friday night. So great to see him. Don't let anybody be fooled by this team not having talent. Don't let anybody be fooled by this list not being good enough. This list is good enough. There needs to be a few tweaks to it. There are holes in every single list in the AFL. This list is good enough. There is some serious young talent down at VFL level that is going to make itself known in the next, I'd say, 8 to 12 months. I know it's still been a slow burn. I know it's going to be a wait, but the coaches at the moment are not getting enough out of these players. We're effectively the only team in the AFL that has not changed senior assistants since 2022. It's been 4 years. 4 years we've only added. We haven't changed. So it's gone a bit stale, I think, and that's why you're seeing the performances pan out the way they are at the moment. Back to the VFL. I would be surprised if Frankie Evans doesn't come in. This was his clear best on-ground performance for the season, I would say. 3 goals, 24 touches, involved in absolutely everything. Geez, he's a beautiful user of the ball. I'd like to see him actually get more of the ball at AFL level. Again, it's not under the pressure of AFL, and being in front of over 80,000 at the G on Friday night against Collingwood is going to be a completely different kettle of fish. But I think he's definitely one we can consider for selection. Lockie Coward will come straight into the team as well for Adam Sard. I think that's a given. Harry O'Farrell was held over due to doubts among some senior players. So O'Farrell's fit. There's no issues with his fitness. Matty Carroll's strong again. He's got a beautiful raking left foot kick. He's not afraid to take on those kicks either. So it was good to see him go back, get his hands on the football. He had 23 disposals. Loves taking that kick on through the corridor. Very, very similar to the way in which Nick Newman plays. But I actually think Matt Carroll, he could be a better aerialist than what Nick Newman is. Very clunky with those hands as well. He's a one-grab type of defender. So definitely something to work with there. The Camporelli boys, I tell you what, Lucas Camporelli, he works his backside off, this young man. Great communicator as well. He's always screaming for the Sharon out on his wing. He always keeps his width. He's going to grow into his frame over the next preseason or two. I like what I saw from him. He did a lot of gut bust running and a lot of running that wasn't really rewarded. It was a lot of unrewarded running from Lucas Camporelli, but I really like what I saw from him. Ben was okay as well. He's got a good physical frame about him. Kicked a nice goal too. The ball drops a little awkward for both the Camporelli boys, which is a bit of a slight concern. But I think hopefully with a bit of training we can start to iron those out. But I suppose that's going to be effectively with them for the rest of their career. That muscle memory and that hand-to-wire coordination as well is something that I think those two boys need to work on. But they're cattle dogs. They just work hard all day. I like what I saw from them. But outside of that, Harry Charlson led all disposal getters with 27 touches, so he could be a bolter as well in the back end of the season. So I suspect we're going to start to see some of these youngsters get games. And again, it doesn't mean it's to the detriment of AFL performances, albeit they've been terrible. But they've been terrible with senior players in at the moment. Will White was okay, but for me, the clear standout, I want people to get really excited about what Ashton Moir has to offer. The only thing that we need to work on with him is his tank, his aerobic capacity. So that's probably going to require another preseason or two under Rob Innes, but there's definitely a player to work with. So, look, that's a wrap for this review. What do you say? Tuesday night, make sure you tune in. Fab from the Prendercast is going to join us on the couch. So tune into that. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I know it's been a very, very frustrating and disappointing year to date so far. The coach is probably going to move on pretty quickly, I'd have thought, if it continues to go the way the results are at the moment. So sit tight with that. Changes are coming, Blue Baggers, and it's for the good. It is definitely for the good. We'll chat very soon. I'll see you on Tuesday night. Go Blues.